Too many students are learning about some of the conflicts in the world on TikTok instead of the classroom. And how are you able to or help root out some of the misinformation that is kind of rotting the brains of so many young people right now?
That's a great point, Sarah.
TikTok is a bastion of lies, misinformation, and disinformation. Thankfully, we have The View to straighten us all out. They are nothing but truth seekers with facts and statistics at all times.
Yet today we are facing a very serious shortage of teachers in this country. What is the reason for that?
Well, look, you're absolutely right. They changed lives, and lately they've saved lives with this pandemic. And
teachers saved everyone's lives during the pandemic. That's weird. I don't remember that. I remember them refusing to work, ignoring all the science that children weren't dying, and refusing to work, and then causing untold cognitive and emotional damage to students. I remember that. I don't remember teach. They saved us? That sounds made up. Man, there's so much misinformation on TikTok. Thank God for The View.
And I think parents, unfortunately, we have to be those shepherds as well. Right. We have to watch what our children are watching. We have to monitor it, and we have to teach at home as well about tolerance and inclusivity.
Sonny is very concerned about tolerance and inclusivity, which is why she hates white people and blames them for everything. I mean, what could be more inclusive than screwing Asians out of the colleges they deserve to go to? I mean, that's the most tolerant and inclusive thing I can think of.
But let me ask you this in terms of inclusivity. This past summer, the Supreme Court overturned nearly 50 years of affirmative action in college admissions. And you called recently that a new low point and warned, quote, we are in danger of a new Jim Crow era in some parts of this country.
Look, we cannot rest until the diversity on our campuses reflects the beautiful diversity of our country.
We just want the colleges to look like the rest of America. Oh, really? Well, if that was the case, you'd let more white people into college. Because in case you haven't checked the statistics, because clearly you haven't, white people, 59% of the American population. White college students, 42% of college students. Whites are grossly underrepresented in college admissions. Blacks, 13.5% of the population roughly, 14% of college students black. Blacks are equally or overrepresented.
It's happening on my home state of Florida. Florida schools are a mess. They're teaching kids that some black people personally benefited from slavery. And there's so many books that have been banned that pop singer Pink is actually giving them out in her Florida concerts. So the culture wars being waged in our classrooms,
Whatever Ana Navarro says, you can take to the bank, because she's one of America's most influential Latinas. And she can't be stopped. She does nothing but research and bring facts to the table. And sure, it might have taken her an hour and a half to cram herself into that dress. But when she finally did, she was ready to take down Ron DeSantis and the disaster that is Florida's education system. Because if Ana Navarro says Florida's education system sucks, it sucks. U.S. News and World Report, Florida, #1 in education. Odd that the Secretary of Education, who just gave us a speech on how dangerous misinformation and disinformation was oddly silent when Ana Navarro outright lied about Florida being a disaster when it comes to education.